Do you know London was planned according to how the wind blows? From west to east. And so they put the rich people's homes and fancy palaces in the west, and the factories are all in the east, so their pollution doesn't blow over the fancy houses. My name is Cliff Tan. I grew up in Singapore and I'm an architect in London. Somehow I became the guy who teaches the world Feng Shui.
Hey guys, it's Cliff again, and you might know me as the Feng Shui guy here on TikTok. Let's spot the Feng Shui problems.
I have a TikTok channel sharing Feng Shui in an accessible way with over 3 million followers. And this is how I found my flow.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Very exciting. Oh, what a cute apartment.
Thank you.
Great. I'm most widely known through my social channels, but not many people know exactly what I do. What is this? Aha, You have this big, heavy thing above your bed. Very, very aggressive, high energy chi. In real life, I actually look at someone's physical space to understand their energy and how to align their space to support and make them feel comfortable at home. So this is your bed with the big cupboard thing, right? You can make it wider to give more storage so it feels like a gradual step back. It's not like all towering over you. Feng Shui to me is not anything weirdly superstitious. In fact, architecture and Feng Shui is quite connected. Good architecture is about understanding our environment, designing and building a building that flows well and feels good. And Feng Shui is all about that too. I can see that you don't really have space to actually chill or be. Where do you do that?
Most of the time now, I leave the flat. I go to visit my friends, and it's a shame because I want to be able to enjoy my home. You know, I've had all these wonderful memories here over the years.
Sometimes people will be like, oh, I don't feel good in my home. So we need to release those feelings and make them feel actually excited to be at home again. A big part of my consultations is that I would listen to them through and through. How they feel, what's their relationship with each other, what their aspirations are. You're missing this central anchor space that you can actually feel comfortable because everything is transient. I'll push my couch ever so slightly down this way. So I have a long storage that goes around, which gives you a place to put decorations and stuff. It's not about just moving furniture around, it's really understanding them and explaining to them why moving this thing will make you better. How does that feel?
I think that's really interesting, certainly. There would be a lot more space to store things.
So this is Clerkenwell, where I live. I call it Architect Central. There's architecture firms everywhere you go. It feels like I'm working all the time, but I love it because I feel that I'm surrounded by creative people. I was always interested in buildings. Sitting in a car, sitting on the train, I always look out the windows, looking at buildings. By primary school, everybody was saying that, oh, Cliff, you should be an architect. I was doing my 3 years of polytechnic, I got my diploma, and it was at that point that I learned about the Architectural Association, the best architecture school in the world. And so I dropped everything and went to London. Welcome to my house, let me show you around. I want to show you my favorite part of the house. Look at that, isn't that amazing? You can see everything, all of London. You can see London Eye, Big Ben. In the middle, you can see St. Paul's and the Tate. When you're high up and you see all this view, your mind just untangles. I worked for a few years in those big firms. Over time, I actually felt a bit tired of architecture. It takes such a long time to see it come to fruition. In 2016, I left the architecture firm and just was on my own doing projects in Singapore, Malaysia. Small apartments of friends until COVID hit. And so I was taking a forced break, and at that time TikTok was very trendy. So I thought, okay, I'll make a video on Feng Shui. How to place a bed in a room. Always place the bed. That went viral. My setup is very standard. There's always a tripod holding my phone. I try to make it simple so that it doesn't take too much time. This is bad because your face is behind the door. This is bad because the window is behind you and the birds and monkeys can attack you. So what to do? It depends
My interest in Feng Shui came from my grandfather, who was a practitioner himself. But I was more interested in the architectural side of things, which was not well documented. So I spent years learning and applying it to my own practice.
Before I started, Feng Shui was just this obscure thing. So in every of my videos, I will try to give a bit of a practical reasoning behind every move so people can really understand what it means and how it affects them. Very classic Feng Shui idea, don't put your feet towards the door. That is known as the death or coffin position. It sounds superstitious, but really, it's because your feet is opening to the door, you feel super vulnerable. I'm basically trying to give credibility back to Feng Shui and letting people realize that it's actually a study that is worth looking at and it actually can help your home and your life. So, now you know. Good, this was a good take. Hi Kelly!
Hi, Monica.
Come. I got so much to tell you.
Yeah.
So, yesterday,
Yeah.
I did this client and her room was really small.
Originally, they had.
Kelly's my assistant. She's an interior designer. Initially, she was just shadowing me, and I think she's confident enough to have her own clients, so now she gets to meet people via email to fix their rooms. But on top of that, she also helps me with all the admin stuff. You just put the armchairs. There's so many people asking me how can they fix their homes that I started to do online consultations. You can do something like that. Since then, I have met more than 5,000 clients around the world. You can see all these yellow dots. Those are all my clients, and if I zoom out, you can see all of the UK and Europe. I've done every single US state by now. Then we have Southeast Asia, some in Jakarta, Malaysia, and Singapore. I also do a lot of Middle East. So it's not a religious thing, it's about the psychology, so you can apply to anybody. I was initially surprised that there were so many non-Asians that booked me.
Shout out Mr. Clifton for giving me this idea of how to rearrange my living room. I love it.
I feel like I really do make an impact in people's lives. Even though not on a grand scale, but one by one, every single person who comes and leaves happy, it makes me very satisfied and happy. This Chinatown, I usually come during my days off. I find it very nice and reminds me of home. You know, actually when I moved here, there was no kaya back then. Look at that. Oh, there's kaya. Oh, London life was very difficult. I was not used to the culture mainly. When you go to a shop, you must say, hello, how are you? To show that you're not being rude. Whereas in Singapore, you would never say how are you to someone. People saw me as rude and it reflected back. It felt like everybody was very mean to me. Now I truly appreciate making these connections. Social media definitely gave me a lot more confidence, especially when you get recognized on the streets.
Sorry, can I take a picture with you?
Sure! Love it.
I love you.
Oh, thanks so much. You have a nice day. Now you know.
Yeah.
Oh, got spotted again. It's so weird. You never know if someone's going to spot you or not. And then suddenly someone will just say, are you the Feng Shui guy? I was like, ah. This whole thing really changed my relationship with London. Suddenly I feel like everybody is my friend. I feel like everybody is nice.
Let me show you.
In the supermarkets, they would sell things for discounted price on the yellow labels. And now I feel like I need to be conscious about picking up that yellow label 10-cent sandwich because people might recognize me. I'm doing the classic Singapore Min Zhang Kueh. So we have crumpets, which is very similar in texture to Min Zhang Kueh. It's a snack that my dad loves and he used to buy all the time. So whenever I miss home, eating this will actually remind me of my dad and my whole family. Okay, so this is the finished Min Zhang Kueh. It tastes almost exactly the same as the traditional hawker center kind. I was a very shy person. I used to totally hate my voice. Today I'm going to talk about Feng Shui and architecture. In fact, making my videos, people commenting that, oh, I love your accent. It's so Singaporean. That made me proud of my accent that I really wanted to keep it. I'm still introverted, but I'm definitely much more comfortable with people.
Hello, how are you?
This is for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I made friends with my neighbors. She always gives me food and I give her food in return. Once you know that this hard, scary city is made of many, many individual, real people with feelings and emotions, you really open yourself to it. And now it's much easier to make friends and make connections here.
Hello?
Hello? How's everything?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I already booked my tickets to come back to Singapore in February.
The door every day is open for you.
The older my parents get, every time I come home to Singapore, I say, oh, they grow so much older. It makes me sad, you know. Then I can eat some nice food.
Yeah, looking forward and you can have someone serve you.
Yeah.
Rather than you have to cook yourself.
I think I'm quite satisfied with life now. I found an outlet for all the knowledge I have to give out. And I think after this is just like carrying on what I'm doing and spending more time with my family actually. Living in London for such a long time really changed me. I become more open and less close-minded. I think I definitely found my voice.
Life is about experiencing it.
I was a rule follower. I would never run onto the streets and make a crazy video. My 5-year-old self would be terrified at what I am. But yes, I would tell my younger self to really be brave, not hold back, be yourself and just reach out.